I'm in Abilene. The Abilene Police Department releasing the 2017 crime stats this weekend, showing how the city is doing compared to previous years.
Joining us now in downtown Abilene, KRBC 7 Castahoon, who's digging into these numbers and breaking down what they mean for the key city. Febin, what are you uncovering?
Good evening, Samantha and Randy. These are the crime stats from 2017 dating back to 2012. Now, this past year's crime stats were released by APD this past Friday, and one thing that stands out is the number of sexual assaults, but also that violent crime has increased by 8% since 2016.
Crime is cyclical. So we're going to have peaks and we're going to have valleys.
Here's how crime numbers racked up in 2017. Violent crimes are up by 8% from 2016. There were 4 murders or homicides, about half of the cases compared to the year prior. Yet fewer robberies and aggravated assault reports were filed in 2017. On the contrary to violent crimes, property crimes were down by 8%.
I know some people may be inclined to say that the statistics suggest that it's dangerous to live in Abilene. I totally disagree.
Abilene Police Chief Standers explains the police department is only one variable.
Citizens are also a key ingredient as it relates to finances and socioeconomic factors. All of those issues will influence crime.
And as people continue to move into the area, the need to balance the department with the population becomes crucial. Chief Standard says in the last 20 years, APD has undergone remarkable change. Now, with an army of at least 200 officers covering a city with more than 117,000 citizens.
We put our resources where our problems are. We employ a full-time crime analyst, so we established the street crimes unit to be intentional, to be proactive, to target repeat offenders and high crime areas.
What's going on in Abilene is not unique, nationwide as to the neighborhood breakdown.
Dr. Daniel Patton is an assistant professor in the sociology and criminology department at McMurray University. He says when it comes to crime, the reality is there's more variation within a city.
They have this bad rep due to the high murder rates. And you could do the same kind of analysis in sociology and criminologists have done a lot in Chicago, for instance, and broken these things down by neighborhoods. And oftentimes what you see is very high crime neighborhoods right next to very low crime.
And from his research, he says that even applies here in Abilene.
You have this actually with the Wiley being a very, very low crime right next to one that they're calling, and again, this is what they're calling it, a Curry Lane in Southwest Drive is a very high crime neighborhood, and they border directly.
Most of our violent crime can be associated with 2 issues, drug abuse and domestic violence.
Drugs are an epidemic sweeping the nation. It's a problem even the president has promised to crack down on.
We must get much tougher on drug dealers and pushers if we are going to succeed in stopping this scourge.
Here in the big country, Dr. Patton says there's a methamphetamine problem.
In rural areas are obviously the ideal places to produce meth because you don't have neighbors and you can do it in secret.
Another crime on the rise in Abilene, sexual assault. According to APD, 94 sexual assault reports were collected in 2017, nearly a 30% increase from 2016. But Chief Standers has said that number could be skewed based on what is now classified as rape.
Historically, the definition of rape was between a male and a female and its specific anatomical parts. It's a pretty flat definition. I think today, in 2018, we would all recognize that those variables can be remarkably different. And so what the federal government has done is they have recognized that rape can look remarkably different than the traditional paradigm.
Crime is going to happen.
But the reality is this is something that everyone is facing worldwide in the sense that it's almost impossible to completely eliminate crime.
But Chief Standard says you are the first step to deterring it from happening in your community.
I believe that effective crime prevention is only going to work if we are truly working together.
Now, Samantha and Randy, the chief tells me that crime happens where people live, so the more dense the population, the more crime exists. But one thing that the police department has been working to prevent crime is something with Mayor Anthony Williams. It's called the Abilene Neighborhood Initiative, also called the Annie Model, which provides a roadmap to build safer neighborhoods. Live in Abilene, Febin Castahoon for KRBC, Abilene's local news. Back to you, Randy.
All right, Febin, thank you very much.